A powerful exhibit opens right now, sharing the story of Emmett Till and how his murder in 1955 became a catalyst for the civil rights movement.
Our Jenny Ranovich went to Muncie to see what visitors can experience when they go to this museum.
The images are emotionally heavy, documenting a painful part of our past.
The sadness, the feelings of injustice.
But walking into this powerful exhibit about the life and legacy of Emmett Till, the bravery of his mom, and their story that helped spark the civil rights movement is meant to make visitors think, reflect, and take action for racial healing.
The intent for an exhibit like this is to put us in touch with our common humanity. It's a transformative learning experience.
Emmett and Mamie Till-Mobley Let the World See is a traveling exhibition on display at Minnetrista Museum Gardens in Muncie. It lets visitors confront the violent crime that took a young boy's life through pictures, videos, and interactive displays.
For a regional arts and culture institution like Minnetrista, this is huge.
Especially for a story so important to tell.
At the heart of it all, there's a child. There is a child who was murdered.
In 1955, 14-year-old Emmett Till traveled from his home in Chicago to visit family in Mississippi. Mom Mamie had to give the talk, warning her son about the reality of racism in the Jim Crow South.
Kind of trying to prepare him for the context that he's going into. It's not Chicago. And, you know, he says, "Oh, Mom, it couldn't be that bad."
Her warnings came true. Emmett was accused of whistling at a white woman, a seemingly innocent act for a lighthearted kid, but in Mississippi, consequences could be brutal.
Whistling while black was considered a crime.
And days later, Emmett was kidnapped, tortured, and killed, his body thrown in a river. In the interactive exhibit, you can pick up a phone and hear from a witness.
He had a pistol in one hand and a flashlight in the other. I'm shaking, literally shaking like a leaf on a tree.
You can read a letter Emmett sent his mom before the murder.
It's just talking about normal 14-year-old things, about fixing up his bike. It actually is signed with his nickname.
And you see the news coverage, how an all-white jury acquitted the killers in a trial without justice, how white and black magazines shared much different accounts.
You are forced to pull those things up and kind of confront them because you are interacting directly with them.
The compelling images also show how Mamie Till-Mobley turned her grief into action.
And from there, we see the resident strength of a mom that became her life's work.
Her son's loss a seed to spark a movement. And instead of just reading about that journey, visitors at Minnetrista experience it firsthand.
Learning comes alive when we can engage as many of the senses as possible.
The hope is people leave more informed.
The Till story is American history.
And determined to continue a ripple for justice started 7 decades ago. In Muncie, Jenny Ranovich, 13 News.
This award-winning exhibit was originally produced by the Children's Museum of Indianapolis, and you can visit it in Muncie now through the 12th of April.
And Emmett Till's cousin will be a special guest in the museum, at the museum in March. We've placed more info for it on WTHR.com.